weight on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, heavy swipe. That's what you do. 2, 3, 4, 5, get your heavy back and then swipe again. 1, 2.
Have you been looking for an amazing build in Destiny 2 Season of Arrivals? Well, let's check this out. Hey guys, my name is Wes and today I will showcase the Nightmare build. Don't worry about the name of the build, and although it destroys nightmares on the moon, it does the same thing to any big badass boss in the game. In any case, this build revolves around a few mods in Season of Arrivals as well as some of the weapons in this season. But we will have plenty of choices when it comes to weapons. Now, the best subclass you are going to need has to be most likely Void, because you need to take full advantage of the artifact mod Oppressive Darkness from this season's artifact. It is not necessary to use Oppressive Darkness, but we just want to take full advantage of it since it's available for us. Also, it's not a new mod and it's been around in previous season artifacts. Anyway, if you decide to use Oppressive Darkness with this build, you can unlock Oppressive Darkness in the last column of this seasonal artifact, and it goes on your class item. Oppressive Darkness allows you to deal a substantial amount of damage to any enemy you hit with your Void Grenade. I believe you get about a 30% debuff, don't quote me on that. There's no elemental affinity to use Oppressive Darkness, so your class item could be Void, Solar, or even Arc. You just need to use the class item that you like or one that works for your build. Now, apart from Oppressive Darkness, here are the main mods you will need. I am simply going to mention the mods to keep things short, but if you need a basic understanding of the Charge with Light system, I made a previous video which will be linked in the description. That said, here are the mods you are going to need. Taking Charge. That allows you to become charged with light whenever you pick up an orb of light. Swift Charge. You become charged with light for rapid kills with pulse rifles, sidearms, or submachine gun. And you also gonna need Lucent Blade. You get bonus sword damage when you are charged with light. And finally, High Energy Fire. You gain bonus weapon damage for being charged with light. These are all the mods we're going to need, but of course you can play around with the mods in your collection and just decide which one works for you best. All around, we are going for as much damage as we can. Now let's look at the weapons you are going to need for this build. For your heavy weapon, you need a good sword, and the best sword in the game right now is the Falling Guillotine. And you get that at rank 30 from the season pass. For your energy slot, you need either a submachine gun, a pulse rifle, or even a sidearm. For your kinetic slot, you can pretty much use whatever the situation dictates, but I have a very good time with the new season 11 exotic grenade launcher, which is the Wither Horde. This thing is a workhorse and it pairs very nicely with this build. Then again, you can use whatever makes you happy. Now, let's take a look at the armor and the mods together and explain how I use this build for maximum efficiency. Alright, the first thing we're gonna look at the class item. And the class item, that's where I use my Taking Charge mod. You know, you become charged with light whenever you pick up an orb of light, excuse me. And also use the Oppressive Darkness right here because, you know, this is a class item mod. You know, you don't have to use Oppressive Darkness like I mentioned before, but it's just a very good option. And also fit whatever else you can put in your class item that would work for your build. So that's the basic for this. And then for your armor, it's gonna be dependent upon whatever subclass you are using. Since I am using the Night Stalker and I also use the Orpheus rig, so I try to fit whatever I can, and since we try to get as much damage that we can with the sword, so I put some Scavenger's sword mod on there, and also trying to use the Discipline mod so I can get as many grenades as possible. Trying to get my grenade and as high as possible. So mine is at 91 because of all the piece of armor that I have. And also for the chest piece, this is where I'm using the Swift Charge mod. You know, the Swift Charge mod, you become charged with light whenever you kill enemies rapidly with your pulse rifle, the sidearms, or even your submachine gun. And for me personally, I am using a submachine gun. You can use whatever you need or whatever you want, as long as it is one of those 3 weapons that the mod allow you to use to become charged with light. So that's a very good option. And also, I just slap a discipline mod on there. Again, we're trying to get as many grenades as we can, you know, because it's easy to do. And for the arms, I'm using the loosened blade, and this is the one that's gonna give you the damage that you need with the sword. And then this mod goes on an arc piece of armor, so it takes 4 energy to use. And if you want the secondary perk, which says greatly increase the charge rate of your equipped sword, you have to use another mod that is arc. Like, that's why I use this pulse rifle loader. It works pretty good because you might use the pulse rifle for the build, and you know that works out pretty well. So you just need to find, if you need this second perk to be activated, you need to make sure that you use another mod that is arc. And I also use the discipline mod on there as well, because I'm just trying to get as high as I can with this discipline thing. So again, I'm at 91. And then for the last piece of armor, I am using the high energy fire. This is the one where you get charged with light, where you get a bonus weapon damage, and every combatant that you defeat, it says, you know, you consume a stack of charge with light. So this is a very good backup for the build. And then I'm also using a discipline mod on there again to get some more grenade as much as we can. And now let's look at the weapon that we're gonna need. I'm using the Witherhoard, and you don't have to use the Witherhoard. You have plenty of options. You can use Mountaintop if you want to. You can use anything you want basically in the kinetic slot, but you need one of those weapons in the energy slot, either a submachine gun or a sidearm or a pulse rifle. So it's your choice. And then we are also using the sword, the guillotine sword that you get from the season pass at rank 30, but you can get a very good roll. The roll that I get is not that bad. I got Relentless Strikes and Whirlwind Blade. This is not that bad. It's not the God roll, but it is very good. You need Swordmaster right there to make it a God roll, and then you would probably need like Jagged Edge right there, but I got Tempered Edge. This is not bad. It is not a very bad. And I also put a major spec on there. You can put a boss spec, you know, to make it better. So whatever you have that can make you do more damage, that's what you're going to use. And the way that I use this, like whenever I am going into a situation, I first use my Witherhoard. I just throw it out there, and then I use my submachine gun or a sidearm and start killing enemy with it. And then I become charged with light, and I'll also pick up orbs, and then I just go in and start doing damage. You know, that's just a technique you use, because the Witherhoard with the catalyst, if you put it away, it recharge automatically. I mean reload automatically. So you need that way you don't have to just wait to reload. So, and then it pairs pretty nicely, because you are using either a sidearm or a submachine gun. You just, you know, shoot some rounds, get charged with light, and then go again with the Witherhoard, and yeah, and then you keep doing damage, or your sword, whatever you have to use. This is a very good combination if you want to use all that stuff for yourself. Now that's basically how I use this system for this build, and it works pretty good. I mean, I like it. But anyway, guys, this is a very good build. You know, you can use it for any endgame activity in Destiny 2, be it in Nightfall, the new dungeon, the public events, etc, and it works quite well with any class. As far as classes are concerned, you don't have to use Oppressive Darkness to make it work. It's just a good option. So if you want to use your Solar or Arc subclass, just go for it. I use this setup for the new dungeon, and it works quite well, especially for the fact that you can use a sword pretty much throughout all the encounters, except for the final boss where you know you need to switch the sword to a different heavy weapon, just like a rocket launcher or anarchy grenade launcher. If you have it, and then you can go to town on the boss. You know, the thing is, you will still do a lot of damage because you have that high energy fire mod active. You know, that's why I say it's a backup, because you know you don't rely on it all the time, but the fact that you can use it when you're not using your sword to take advantage of the damage, it's a very good thing. Also, if you are still trying to farm the Altars of Sorrow for some good weapons, just like this Blasphemy shotgun that I have acquired today, this build can work very well for that. You know, as you can see in the gameplay, man, this build terrorized those big Nightmares enemy, and I am pretty sure it gives them nightmares in my opinion. Well guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you found it to be helpful in any way, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will be forever grateful. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.